Bill Maher's comment on his live show.
Yeah, at the start of the weekend, it was the big thing, and you're right, what happened after kind of overshadowed it, but Bill Maher on his show with Senator Ben Sasse talking about, I don't know, how did they get into the conversation? Ben Sasse is senator from Nebraska?
All you really need to know is he had invited Bill. They were talking about.
He invited him to come out to
the fields of Nebraska and work the fields. Bill had a retort that he, I guess, thought was funny, but wasn't. And now the question, what is going to happen to Bill as a result? We're going to first play you the clip, and then we're going to tell you what we know about what's going to happen to him.
We'd love to have you work in the fields with us. Work in the fields? That's part of that. That's Senator. I'm a house. No, it's a joke.
So he used the N-word, in case you didn't notice.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was floored when I first saw it. I'm floored even now playing it back again at the applause in the audience. But this one of the things that is kind of shocking.
I gotta say, think about being the senator when you're seeing.
I feel horribly for the senator because he got it right between the eyes and had no idea how to react. And actually, he did say later, he had a statement where he said, "These are the things I wish I had said." That he had wished he had taken Bill to task. So, will HBO take Bill Maher to task for what he said?
And the answer is no.
No.
We are told he will be on the show on Friday, the regular time, and HBO has no plan to 86 him. Just so you know, this is very different. I mean, when you think about it with Bill O'Reilly and all the other stuff, it's very different from Fox News Channel because Fox News Channel depends on advertisers. HBO doesn't. It's a
subscription. Same thing with CNN and Kathy Griffin.
That's the same thing with CNN.
Right.
And so HBO, nobody's going to unsubscribe.
I guess that would be the only thing. If suddenly HBO saw mass numbers of people unsubscribing,
not going to happen.
Then maybe they do something.
Harvey, the other real difference I see is that Bill O'Reilly and the others, they're there to present news. Bill Maher is a provocateur. That's what he does. He says outrageous things all the time.
Well, so did Bill O'Reilly.
Well, not according to Bill O'Reilly. Bill O'Reilly says that he's saying straight mainstream things that he thinks that are correct.
Yeah, but Fox News knew the attitude. I mean, look, he crossed the line, and at least that's the allegation, and he paid the price. But you don't do it when you've got a subscription because ultimately, how many people are going to unsubscribe, not see Game of Thrones?
Some people. He would need to have a significant drop-off in viewership in order to affect HBO's decision-making.
Right, exactly. And then he'll stand or fall based on viewership. You're absolutely right. So the question, did he cross the line at all? A lot of people, myself included, think yes. I'm not sure everybody does.
Really?
Well, let's bring on Killer Mike because he's been on the show a lot.
Yeah.
Now, I have a feeling, and I don't know yet, but I have a feeling Killer Mike might support Bill Maher on this. Well, let's find out.
Let's find out.
Killer Mike, welcome again to TMZ Live. So what do you think about what Bill Maher said?
What do I think as African American, as a black guy? I'm glad to know who the house Negro is. Therefore, I know who not to tell I'm escaping tonight. And from an American standpoint, I'm a fierce believer in the First Amendment. So whether I agree with you or not, I believe in your right to say it. Gerard Carmichael did an interesting bit where he praised Hitler versus Dr. King. That was hilarious. I don't want to live in a world where that can't happen. Louis C.K. does an N-word bit. That's amazing. So for me, I'm used to American comedians doing this. That doesn't mean I condone it. That just means I appreciate the First Amendment. And then from a Bill Maher watcher standpoint, the joke didn't really land. It was kind of flat. So I think Bill has had better jokes, but I don't begrudge a guy who's tried to pull off a joke and it didn't work. I just don't begrudge him. But in matters of black people, instead of trying to get this dragged off the air, I think there are a lot of other people we could be going at. And more than that, I think that we could be doing a better job of making sure that we use our dollars to talk for us. The average black dollar stays in the community 6 hours. We need to be supporting black businesses, supporting black schools, and supporting black politicians who are progressive, like people like Vincent Ford in Atlanta, and not arguing over things like name calling. In my personal life, I don't choose to address it.
So Mike, I hear what you're saying, and I agree with you about whether or not he should be fired, but it didn't. I mean, when you first saw the clip, didn't it rub you the wrong way? And for me, and I'm not saying this is how everybody else has to feel, but for me, it was uncomfortable and it was a bad look because it was two white guys with one of them making a joke about slavery that, like you said, didn't land. It couldn't land to me.
It didn't land. But I'm gonna tell you what makes me really uncomfortable. And Louis C.K. does a bit about this. Go to YouTube. What makes me uncomfortable is white people saying N-word. Because when you say N-word, I know you're saying N-double in your mind. I don't want to say N-word because I'm not a 5-year-old child. I remember the Jeffersons, All in the Family. I remember television that challenged you to think. I don't want to live in a world where we sanitize language as though we're talking to children and I'm talking to an adult. I don't wish to do it. Now, that's just my personal thing, but I happen to be an artist. I happen to be a person who actually grew up in the South, and I happen to be a progressive. As for me, N-word sounds stupid. And if you want to get rid of the real word, get rid of the real word. But beyond that, let's get rid of the conditions that create this. James Baldwin said this. James Baldwin said, I didn't make up that word. You made up that word. That's your word. So if a white man chooses to use a word to describe himself that white people made up, that's fine, baby. Take it and run with it. I am not and nor will I ever be. I'm a human being. I'm a black man.
Right. We are almost out of time. I just got one other really quick thing, like in 30 seconds. Do you reconcile this well with Kathy Griffin getting fired from CNN?
No, I do not. Now, holding the leader of your country's head bloodied up, hey, man, I don't think it's a good idea. And Harvey, you remember when you called me about the Snoop Dogg video, I was like, I don't want to touch that. Because touching president, doing that in Kennedy's been killed, Reagan's been shot, I don't think that was a smart move. In matters of what Bill did, if people want to protest him, fine, I support it. If people want to call for his job, do what you want to do. As for me, though, I am not going to start to limit entertainers and what they can say, because when you start doing that, you're painting yourself in a corner, and you're going to make sure your First Amendment rights are one day going to be out the door, and we really are going to live in a fascist country.
Do you think I'm just curious. Oh, go on.
I got one quick question, Mike. If you had been on the show, if you were the guest on the show, do you think Bill Maher makes that
Bill
joke?
in his stomach. I would have punched Bill in his stomach and said, "You sound stupid," and we would have smoked a joint after. And that's what I like. You know why, Harvey? You know why? Because that's what you do when your white friend does that when you're 13.
Right.
And he gets a little too comfortable and says it. You punch your friend in your stomach. You correct the stupid mistake, and you continue the relationship. Direction.
I got to tell you, Mike, I love you. I could listen to you all day long. We got to go, but it upsets me that we do, because I love listening to you.
This will probably never happen again, and it happened with Jonah, but me and LP are in the car together. Shouts out.
Oh, awesome.
Y'all actually got to run the jewels on here.
We should. I didn't know he was sitting next to you. We would have talked to him too.
Yeah.
You guys, so you guys got a show?
We're like Harvey right now. Look at us. We're like you and Harvey, except we don't look exactly alike.
Hey, you guys have a great show over there. I know you're on tour, man. So I hope you're having a good time.
Love and respect to the people in Manchester. We'll see you guys in Glastonbury soon. Love and respect to America. Let's get back to black people. Let's make sure that we're banking black. Let's make sure we're shopping black and supporting black businesses. Bill know he made a dumb mistake. He's apologized. I'm sure his black girlfriend smacked him about it later, and we're all going to be okay.
Thank you, Mike.
Okay. Make sure to subscribe to TMZ Live to keep up to date on the latest entertainment news.
And if you want to keep watching, click on one of these videos right now.